there, my beautiful fellow sapiens. It is IK Kalista. Welcome to my channel if you are new. Fun fact about me is that I'm not good with hair. Like, no shit. I'm so, like, I love doing makeup, but when it comes to hair, I'm just like, forget about you hair. And I have sisters that help me with my hair. So if I'm ever going out with them, they'll be doing my hair and I'll be doing their makeup. Today I'm going to do this look for you guys. It is a first impressions video featuring Marc Jacobs Beauty and Influensta. So if you are interested to see this beautiful look and what my thoughts about this palette is and swatches, just keep watching. Here we go. Let's go.
What's wrong with being confident? What's wrong with being
Okay, first and foremost, I would like to say thank you to Marc Jacobs Beauty and thank you to Influencer for gifting me this box. If you are interested in receiving products for review, you can check out Influencer down below. I will put a little bit more details and I will link it down below. You cannot join this website unless you are invited by someone who already is a member. So click down below if you're interested. Let's open this box up. Inside there is a booklet, a little bit about this product, which is really good because this is my first time trying out Marc Jacobs Beauty. So I'm pretty excited and I love when they give you like kind of like information about the product itself. I'm gonna read out of here, so don't mind me. Okay. Introducing 6 new iconic multi-finish eye palettes. Fashion finishes, plush performance, dress your eyes. Marc Jacobs is known for making last-minute adjustments to perfect every look before it walks down the runway. These 6 never-before-seen eyeshadow palettes are inspired by textiles and layering and feature 4 fashion finishes. They have buttery matte velvet, shimmering satin, sparkling silk, and metallic lame. Style your eyes with each palette's covetable mix of chic shades and provocative pops. Layer from velvet to lame, or top with a pop to make it Marc. These are the 6 palettes that came out, and the one that I have is called Edgitorial. So this one is the camel greens and the reflective gold. And if you want to see a close-up, I will just show you guys the palette later. And these palettes retail for $49 each. There are 7 shadows and I have read the finishes already earlier, so you kind of know what finishes they have in it. Marc Jacobs Beauty is cruelty-free and their formulas are formulated without parabens, sulfates, or I cannot pronounce this one, but phthalates? Yeah, that word. I heard something along the lines that this is a relaunch or reformulated eyeshadow palettes, but I'm not 100% sure because I haven't used Marc Jacobs Beauty before and I don't have any older palettes to compare the formulation with you guys. So let's put the box down. So this is how it looks like, and they do give you more information on the back packaging of the shades and the ingredients that they have. I'm not going to go into details of ingredients. This is kind of like a first impressions because I have not used Marc Jacobs Beauty before and because I don't even know how this formula is going to be. Ooh, okay, that was like, I think I see something in there. Okay. So they give a little sample of their Perfecting Coconut Eye Primer, and this is a new eye primer as well. I see this in the booklet earlier. So I think I'm gonna use this today to do my look. Looks like this. It's very nice packaging actually. Like, I think I would travel with this. And oh, so the names are back here and it does give you the color shade as well. It's not just like names, like how they did the packaging, the outside packaging. So it has a mirror, and it has this protective sheet to cover the shadows. I'm gonna use this to cover the mirror for now, but this is how the shadow looks. Fun fact, I heard that if you read the name, it's actually a little poem, so I'm gonna do that for you guys. So this first shade is Take a Memo, Next Season, We'll See, Pleather Python, Making a Scene, Enviously Everywhere. Let's move on to the swatches. I'm gonna lay down the finger swatches first, so when you see me swatching, that is the brush swatches. I'm gonna put a layer of foundation on my arms because I do have veins. The foundation I'm gonna put on my arms is the Wet n Wild Cover All, and I usually just put one layer on. Because if you can't tell, I do have like blue and green veins along my arms. I'm just gonna apply this. Gosh guys, I'm so impressed with these swatches. I love the formula and I feel like it's the perfect formulation. Like it's not too dry or too buttery, and it's very smooth and creamy. I wouldn't call it buttery because I feel like if it's buttery it's kind of like have a lot of kickback, but it have no kickback. I have decided that one time I am going to use my primer that I use all the time, and on the other side of my eye I'm going to use the Marc Jacobs Undercover Perfecting Coconut Eye Primer. The shade that I'll be using is called Take a Memo, and it is this shade right here. It's more of your beige shade, and I'm going to go ahead and apply this all over the lids. For my transition shade, I'm going to use We'll See. It is this brown right here. I know what I want to do now. I want a smoky eye, so I'm going to go ahead and use that brown shade again and just use my fingers and apply this all over. Okay, with a small brush, I'm going to use this shade called Enviously, which is the darker green here, and I'm going to focus this just on the outer corners of the eyes. A big brush, I'm going to blend out this darker green here, it kind of faded. Did you guys see that? How the dark green is now gone? Oops. I will add more, but probably use a different brush for blending. I usually use this one for blending. It's usually do pretty well. Okay, I'm going to place more of that dark green just because after I blended it, it kind of disappeared. This time, let's try again. This green does seem to have a little bit of kickback. So let me just show you guys on the pan. Like when I pick it up, you can see some kickback. I don't know if that's why this shade is not staying. Once I blend it out, it just kind of disappears, and it's giving me a little bit of fallout as well. And I'm gonna blend it with my fingers. It looks good. The next shade I'm interested in is actually next to it. It is called Making a Scene. So it is this shade. I'm gonna go ahead and use my fingers and put the shade right in the center towards the front. And then in the very inner corner, I'm gonna use this magical shade. This nice gold shade here, Pleather Python. It is not your normal gold shade. It's definitely more of that green reflective gold shade. Bring the shade up a little bit. I just kind of want it to look a little bit more crazy. And then using my fingers, tapping on it. With a big brush, I'm just going to swipe away that fallout. For the bottom of my eyes, I'm going to place Will See, and then on top of Will See, I put Everywhere. I just want to point out that since I have been using the shadow just now, there are some kickback. It is not that bad, but you can kind of see it. So just be aware of kickback and fallouts. Okay, so I'm going to go back in with this shade and add it on to the bottom part here. I wanted to try this as my highlight. This is Next Season right here. I think it would be a beautiful shade for highlighting. Oh wow, oh my gosh, this is like a very nice shade. I think I got a little bit too much, but I'm just gonna use it. It's a very beautiful gold and does have a little bit of that yellow slash green shade. It's very pretty. This is a little bit too much. I would use a bigger brush to blend it down, but it is so beautiful. Wow. I'm going to put a little bit on my nose. Look at this. I'm going to have to swatch this again because this is so gorgeous. Look at that. I'm just going to do a tiny amount on the nose. Ooh, that is a lot. This is super pigmented. I decided to do monochromatic today, so my lips aren't going to be green. I'm going to use Dr. M from ColourPop. I have no idea if they still have this shade or not, but this is one of my go-to green shade. This is too bright, so I'm going to go in with Everywhere, and I'm going to put it on my lips. I want this to be darker. this is the finished look. So what is the verdict? First and foremost, I want to point out that I wish there was a shade that was a little bit lighter than this shade to be my transition shade, because I felt like I could not blend my transition or up above. If you cannot tell, I couldn't blend that well because I felt like the shade was a little bit too dark. That if they have that transition shade, this palette would be perfect. This palette do remind me a little bit about a little bit of this Wet n Wild Comfort Zone palette because of all the nice green shades. They're not like dupes or anything, but like when I first opened this Marc Jacobs palette up, I did thought of this one. So here they are. I do like the formula of these Marc Jacobs eyeshadows. I don't think I have anything quite like it because these shadows are very creamy and soft yet not buttery. Like they are on the drier side if you compare them to the Lorac eyeshadows, because I do own some Lorac shadows, and the Lorac ones are definitely more buttery and super pigmented. This one is not as buttery, but it's still creamy, it's still soft, pigmented, and you guys saw the swatches. They swatch really well with the fingers, and I think they did really good with the brush swatches as well. But yeah, I really do like this palette. I don't really have anything negative to say about it except for that one transition shade that could have helped me blend in my eyes more. I feel like without that, my eyes did went a little bit crazy and not blended. I think I can use a different technique next time and maybe different brushes next time to blend these, because you know I did use my fingers for some of the shades just to make it blend. But yeah, I like this formula more than the Tarteist Pro palette. I have that palette too, and that formula just didn't really work too well for me. I still have it. I love the shade selection, and I'm trying to work with that palette, but I feel like this palette is way better in quality. That is all I have for you guys. I hope you find this helpful. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.